Let me tell you something. I have Mr. Ferguson on the show today. You've probably seen him in a lot of different movies, and I got him right here now. Huh. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ferguson. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to have you.
I'm super stoked to be here, yo. It's been a busy month for me, but yeah, I'm really happy to be relaxing and talking to you.
Hey, I tell you what. So, what's going on with you?
Well, the
And you
past
got a
four
lot of
months,
stuff. You got a lot
I'm
of stuff.
sorry.
You got a lot of stuff going on.
Oh no, I've got a lot of stuff going on. The past 6 months, past 4 months, I did 6 movies. I was in Thailand. I just wrapped on one of the biggest films I've ever done called Showdown at the Odessa, directed by Orson Oblowitz. And I'm super excited about that movie and the cast. I got to work with an Academy Award winner and Oscar nominated actor, and it was a blessing. And this movie is one of the funnest, this is the movie I wanted to see when I was a kid. And at the same time I was filming that, I was filming Camp Pleasant Lake, a movie directed by Tom Walton. And it's a horror movie, a slasher, with Jonathan Lipnicki. The woman from The Nun, Bonnie Aarons, is my mom. Anthony Divoff is the guy who plays the Wishmaster, is my father. And Robert Lasardo is my brother. So it's just a stacked cast of horror icons.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm doing this crazy action movie with icons, and then I'm doing a horror movie with horror icons at the same time. So like the blessings came down. The film gods were like, Mike, and I was on a cruise. Believe it or not, I was on a cruise when I got the big movie, the Showdown at the Odessa. And the director hit me up on Instagram, was like, hey, I quit being cheap. I paid for the internet. And somebody hit me up on Instagram. Hey, I got a movie for you. He named some of the names, and these are humongous names. And it's 5 days from when they start shooting. I don't have a script yet. And I'm old, so it takes me a while to remember. And I'm like, hell yes. Boom. Get back from a cruise, finish a movie. And I got a COVID test all this time. I get back from a cruise, did my own thing on the cruise, so I didn't get COVID. I had to be COVID tested. When I got off, then I had to be COVID tested on set. I finished the movie. I got off a cruise on Saturday, finished a movie on Sunday, and was on another movie on Monday. And then started another movie 4 days later, and running tandemly at the same time.
Oh my gosh. How do
I'm
you
50.
do that?
It takes a lot of Pop-Tarts to do this.
Hello. I mean, how do you do this?
Look, movies were like, when I was a kid, I come from, I'm covered in tattoos and stuff. I come from a checkered background or whatever. I have dad, 12 brothers, sisters, things like that. This is an opportunity I'm given to make the things. I used to retreat to television. I've got Planet of the Apes on me. I've got Doctor Who. I've got Star Trek tattoos. I would retreat from bad things to these television shows or movies. And it really, Star Trek gave me more of my true north. I mean, Star Trek was a beautiful show. It hit all the checks. Science fiction's what really brought me into life. In horror movies, Evil Dead, I have tattoos from Evil Dead. I've got Boris Karloff, my whole rib cage. And movies have been my whole life. So, I started some years back. I was somebody else that I was connected to became a professional wrestler, and I'm like, you know what, this is my time. I owned businesses, did whatever. I've re-navigated my whole life in my late 40s and started doing movies. It's weird.
I mean,
but it's working.
I know.
I was just in Thailand.
I know.
I shot a TV show in Armenia back in 2019.
Wow.
And CW licensed it, and it's mercenaries fighting zombies in an offline biological lab. It was amazing. And one of those actors, he's blowing up right now. Mike Markoff. He just did one of those Lifetime movies where he was the sexy heartthrob.
No,
took his shirt off. I'm sorry.
I like those movies.
Yeah, it was like he literally on the commercial takes his clothes off with this beautiful young woman, and they use it to make a rope to try to climb out of this pit, and they end up falling into each other's arms. Look, that's my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I've done 8 movies with him. So no, it's been my trajectory has been really great. I think a lot of it has to do with the way I'm look, and my martial arts background definitely helped me out with the movies. Being able to do my own stunts and things like that. Being the guy that'll go a little extra. You know?
I got you. I got you. I got you. You know, a lot of people think that they can't do movies because they're too old now. You know, it's you know, I mean, there's just so many different how would I say excuses as to why you shouldn't go after your dreams after 40 or after 50. I mean, you've debunked these things.
Yeah. Look, it doesn't matter. I mean, look, there's somebody who looks like everybody at every age. You know what I'm saying? Movies aren't just the typical, or television or anything isn't just the typical. They pay actors to put on these fake tattoos. Well, I'm the realest of the real. I am a real old tattooed man, and there's plenty of opportunity for everybody in this industry. You just gotta be able to dedicate. The more time you dedicate to something, the more you get received from it. If you dedicate, I dedicate my time studying after I did that first scene, the first movie where they asked me to. First movie I ever did, I raped the lead of the movie in the shower in prison. I was there to do stunts. And they asked me how I felt about that. I'm like, oh my Lord. And they're like, you'll have lines. I'm like, okay. And but it was an anti-death penalty movie, and it had Denise Richards, Bruce Dern. It wasn't exploited for exploitive sake. It was a reason, and it was a turning point for a character. I didn't realize how much responsibility that was in a script. You know what I'm saying, at that time. And then I studied for a year at a small acting school in Temecula, California, and started to understand what Meisner was. And that guy was a Meisner trained actor. He cried hysterically for 20 minutes after. He fought me for an hour in real life. And it's only framed about what we're at right now.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really good, and it was good exposure for me. And I just kept that ball rolling. As I didn't stop there, I would work, 2 or 3 sets sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Sleep, who cares about that? Sunday, I worked all night. And I was covered in blood. I drove home, showered, went to sleep for 2 hours because I had to be on set the next day. These are both wrap days on these movies. So, those run a little bit longer, whatever. So I'm sitting there, and I can't say what's happening to me, but I'm getting destroyed in both of these movies, bookend back to back. And I'm exhausted and tired, but I'm making something that some kid's going to watch and be like, that's cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's cool, because I used to watch movies and I was like, that's cool.
I love movies. I really do. I love action movies. I'm a Marvel comic freak, DC Comics. I mean, I love Doctor Who and Doctor Strange and the new Thor movie that came out. I was in love with that, and so stuff like that. I like that, and I never think that, and I never thought that, a life after 40 or after 50, you could still start. You don't have to start when you're in your 20s. And there's so much Hulu about, you have to start in your 20s, and then you're 16, and then you're gone after 35.
Well, to some degree it is true, but the whole acting thing's changed, especially with streaming market, is that there's so many advents now. There is no point, because look, America, the world is broad-based. It's not just young folk. You know what I'm saying? It's not just young and beautiful. I just did a drama called Shadow Marsh, a supernatural drama that came out earlier this year. And it's me taking care of my niece and going back to a place where we had just bad emotions and feelings. And here I am, I'm playing myself pretty much, taking care of my niece for the past 5 years, where these opportunities didn't exist in Hollywood before. You know what I'm saying? It's on Tubi right now. You can watch Shadow Marsh. It's on Amazon. It was just released this year. I have another one, Amityville Uprising.
Amityville
Uprising.
I know, because I interviewed them. They did the first. Is the same people that did the first one that did the
No, absolutely not. This is Amityville in name only. This is Amityville. This was Lionsgate did a series of Amityville movies that had nothing to do with them. Had to do with the town, but not the Amityville horror legend. The town. They had Amityville Moon, Wolf. Yeah, it was. And believe it or not, that's me on the poster, and it sold. It's still selling great. Look,
Wow.
it's a B movie. It's a B horror movie.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's an 80s B horror movie made now. That's
Yeah.
what Amityville Uprising is. And that's
Wow.
what Death Squad is. But look, there's a market for that. Now I'm breaking beyond that, but I have so much content, everything from television shows now to, and that's why I say about streaming is that did a show Death Squad in 2019. It was licensed by one company from 2019 to it was to 2020, 2021. It was licensed by the CW. Someone else just licensed it a third time for worldwide, so it's re-releasing again. So this one show that I did, look, this one show that I did has been reacquired 3 times in the past 3 years. It's going to live beyond me.
Yeah.
And this little 80s throwback, but we shot in military bases. We shot in salt mines, 1,000 feet below the ground, like literally places I would never see in my life as Mike Ferguson tattoo artist, probably. And I remember I lived in Armenia for 2 months filming that, and I was just like, this is the childhood dream. I worked with Mike Markoff on that. Now he's doing gigantic stuff. So it's kind of funny. We're both in not competition, but we're both, you know what I'm saying, trying to get up there right now.
You know, I'm gonna say this, and it's not. I mean, people that have tuned in have heard me say this so many times.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day when I was doing my acting, because I was very young, you know, in Miami, you do the extra stuff and all that stuff. And I've done theater and stuff like that. But my last audition, they told me that I wasn't light enough or I was too dark, but I was perfect, but I just wasn't light enough.
Look, that's
so
Hollywood. It was never inclusive.
Yeah,
it was never inclusive like it should have been. I mean, even for people like me, you know, tattooed, but it's always been sideways and racist as shit.
Yes,
that's what the industry is, and sexist.
Yes.
Look, let's be honest. It's changing very rapidly. And I hate to say it,
they're calling,
oh, this woke stuff. Why don't you guys shut the fuck up? Let's let the world look the way it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying?
Tell me about it.
I'm sorry.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, yes. Look. This is my wife, who's soon to be my ex-wife, is alpha female wrestler, black bodybuilder. My children are biracial, and 2 of them are gay. So that's the fucking world. I mean, I'm excuse when I sorry. So
no, that's fine. That's fine. You're right.
That's
You're
the
right.
world.
That is the world.
It should be represented through television. And hell, I'll always be the bad guy. I love it. Am I really a bad guy? No. I'm Jewish, but I play a Nazi all the time.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Yeah. But I mean, you know, I understand where you're coming from. So I should literally try again.
100%. Why wouldn't you? I mean, look, you're the only stopping point ever. I'm sorry.
I haven't done it in years.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? I've never done it 7 years ago.
Isn't that amazing though? I mean, look at you today.
I never done acting 7 years ago, except living real life. And 7 years ago, I decided to act. I took a year off to grow weed. Weed recreational legalized in 2019.
Yes.
And look, I'm a progressive dude. I see where the money is. I see, you know what I'm saying? But so me and 4 other people got together, 7 acres up in Humboldt. We were 19th permit issued by California. We grew 2 acres of weed, 4 of us. I had to fill 50,000 grow bags. It was hard, backbreaking work. God bless our farmers, because it's a hard job. I would never do it again. But I took a year off acting. I started acting a year. I did that. I did American Violence. I did a couple other really big things. Like I was SAG eligible my first job. You know, so I had 5 vouchers, first job. So I was just like, and then I took a year off to grow weed. I did one. The first year acting, I did one. Second year acting, I did one in-person callback for the Coen brothers. And I flew back in. I didn't get the job because I was terrible. I shouldn't have got even the callback. But hey, they looked at me anyway. They're like, "Wow, we never thought about it that way." I was like, sick. And I got better. And I got better. I knew I had a look, and a look will take you far as hell in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And being that I was professional and I looked like a killer, but I was just a dad and somebody that had raised a family. And that whenever they have kids, I work with kids a lot. You know what I'm saying? They have me like be the bad guy with kids, but you know what I'm saying? We get to know each other. The parents get to know me and stuff like that. And we do it Hollywood style. But
Yeah.
yeah, there is no stopping point. You can act when you're 100 years old.
I love that. Like Betty White.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I don't even have an agent or manager. Yeah. I do all of my own booking. Yeah. Look, I did a 1.5 year run on YouTube. I got millions of kids. I did work for Ryan Prunty for a year. And the series, the World's Dangerous Criminal, millions of views per 19, 15-minute episode. Like, kids love me. His channel, he just hit me up recently, start working with me. I'm saying, I love working with you. Yeah. Then some other kid offered me more money to bring my character, Mike Ferguson, professional bounty hunter. I did a pilot right before COVID for my own show, ripping off Patty Mayo and, bounty hunter with me and my ex. And these kids saw it during COVID and started hitting me up because it was all improv. And I started working with this other Topper Guild kid. He's paying me, I don't care, $700 a day for 2 or 3 hours. Wow. 5-6 days a week. I paid for all my dental work. But I was turning down acting roles though. I turned down a couple commercials. I turned down 2 movies. I worked with him exclusively for 5 months. He went from 3.5 million subscribers to almost 9 million now. The last time I went on that show was right before I went to Thailand to shoot. And then I did 6 movies since then, in the past 4 months. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I have to start again, I guess. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. It's whatever you want, whatever energy you put into something. Like, look, I am a single guy now, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I do have a girlfriend, but I live in Hollywood in a studio. I could go to the 4th floor to the pool and look at the Hollywood sign or the Griffin Observatory. I've got on the 2nd floor, I got a gym and laundry. I've got parking in Hollywood. It's amazing. But you know what I'm saying? I put 1,000% of myself into this. Yeah. Occasionally I get to, when I started dating this new person, I was like, I don't have a lot of time that I can give to people. You know what I'm saying? I just don't right now. I was like, I'm busy doing this, doing this. I was like, you gotta understand, it won't be like this forever. But right now it is. Yeah. And they've been super dope about it. You know what I'm saying? Like every now and then, like I went on a cruise. Yeah, cool. 6-7 days. I did a movie and went to WonderCon, then went on another cruise earlier this year, and then went straight back to movies. Mm-hmm. So it's been tough. Yeah, but it's great. I was at Comic-Con this year for a sci-fi movie I did.
That's so cool. I like Comic-Con.
Yeah, I was on a panel in San Diego.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm in a movie called Colonials. It's a sci-fi movie with Greg Creek, Sean Keenan, who's currently on Cobra Kai, and he's an Emmy Award winner. Daniel Roebuck, who's in the new Addams Family. Jamie Bernadette, who is in every movie. This is my 2nd or 3rd movie with her. I'm the main bad guy. This is my Darth Vader moment. This is my everybody refers to Grom. Everybody knows who Grom. I did the voiceover for it a couple of years ago, and this movie's got traction. It's my Star Wars, and it was and to be able to go to WonderCon this year in Anaheim and then Comic-Con on 2 panels. I've got Getty photos of me sitting up at Comic-Con. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I've got photos of me on Getty photos of me on a panel at Comic-Con.
Hey.
Like a 50-year-old man.
Hey.
Jacked up on monsters and V8s.
And V8s. Wow. Well, Mr. Ferguson, how can people reach you? How can they follow you? Because I know we're going to be putting your IMDb in the link, but do you have like an Instagram that people can
follow? My Instagram is at Mike Ferguson 71.
Awesome.
And my TikTok, which I have almost 90,000 people on, is Mike.Ferguson at TikTok.
Well, we're going to go ahead and tag you if you don't mind. Because we're going to be putting some links up in the little, little clippets of this and putting it up there, and I'll tag you with it. You can have it and use it. That'd be great. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on.
Inspire people. Thank you so much, Mr. Ferguson, for being here. I appreciate it so much. I've had such a great time, and I had a
great time with you. I'd love to talk to you any other time.
Anytime. When you have a break, you are going to have to get back with me.
I'm totally down. Yo,
Okay,
we got this.
do
We
it.
got this.
Yes, we do. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And don't forget to follow Mr. Mike Ferguson. We're going to put that information in the description box below. Look, you're not too old. You're never too old. You're too old when you're dead. When you're dead, you're done. I mean, you know, so let's just go ahead and do it. Go after your dreams. Do it. You got it. Okay, guys? Until next time. Bye.